It sounds crazy, but I'll do it anyway. And this time I actually did it. So I want to share with you exactly what I did today in the swimming pool. So it's just well, anyway, I'm going to explain you that. But what is interesting in all that is that it really reflects, I think, uh, all the steps. It's like a perfect illustration of the steps we encounter when we want to break limits. And well, today I broke limit clearly, and I'm going to tell you that in detail. So today what I did, I have the chance to have a swimming pool in there is several blocks of buildings, and there is a common swimming pool here, so I can swim. It's very good, and it's the swimming pool basically is something like 15 meters long at least. And so when I arrive, I'm I'm still I haven't swum or anything, and I dive and I try to go as far as possible under the water. And basically what I was doing the last days is that I was making a length under the water, diving, so a length under the water, touching the wall, turning around and making the return under the water. Okay, and I did that several times, and I was really happy with that already. And today I thought, when I walked to the swimming pool, and I thought, okay, today I'd like to try, at least when I come back for the second length, touch the wall and make and turn around, because I know that's the difficult part is turning around. I explain you that first of all. At first, I was doing, at the beginning of the summer, I was just doing one length, okay? And then I started to say, okay, I like to try touch the wall and turn around, okay, after just one length. And I realized that once, even though the first length is kind of difficult to reach, a little, when I have to struggle a bit, I touch the wall. It's like if I want to go out of the water and breathe, and I say, okay, I touch the wall, I turn. It's a little difficult because it takes energy. It's not easy to move under the water. You turn, and then I push on the wall a little bit, and then I try to swim at least one or two, and then basically it's pretty easy because I swim one, two, three, and I see that I can see the end of the swimming pool, and I say it's not that far, I can try. And basically it's very reachable. And then I do the second length pretty easily. And it's like it's easier to do the second length than the first length. It was what I was doing up to now, and it's very important because I'll explain you later. You'll see that, because first of all, I realized each time that when I'm swimming under the water for the first length, it's, as I said, I struggle a bit. I have to make the first length. It's not that easy, even though I'm able to do the return. But when I touch the wall and I just turn back, the difficulty is really to turn back, because it takes more energy. And it's in your mind, it's really a step. You're going to spend some energy without moving, just to turn around. You already reached a level. You touched the wall, you made a length, so now you turn back to try another length. In your mind, it's something very difficult, because, as I said, first you have to turn around, you don't move, and you spend a lot of energy, and then you try a second length, or at least to move a little bit more. It's a lot of energy for maybe just a few meters more. At least it's what you feel. But when you've climbed this step of just making this turnaround, it becomes easy to make the second length. And that's just, yeah, incredible, really. So it's easier for me each time to make the second length than the third, than the first. So this time I arrived at the swimming pool, and I thought, okay, I'll try to make another turnaround after the return. Okay, when I walked to the beginning of the swimming pool, I just looked at the swimming pool and I said, okay, now today it's a 1, 2, 3, without really knowing what I will be able at the third length, but it was, at least, was the challenge. And I clearly stated that. And I say that because I really think that helped me, really, to clearly state, today I do 1, 2, 3, and I make the gesture like that in the same time, and just thought that this is a challenge. I focus on that, that's it, and I do, without knowing if I could just make a return today. You know, I never know when I dive if maybe today is not a really good day. It seems difficult. I won't be able maybe to make just the return as I made several times before. So I dive, and the first length is supposed to be easier because I dive at first, okay? I dive, I struggle a bit to reach the first length, I touch the wall, I turn around, and then, yeah, the second length is basically easier. But then, you know, I still, you know, when I'm just at the beginning of the first length, well, I'm swimming in the first length, I can't really believe I will turn around after a second, after the return. I just, you know, but I just focus on right now. I know I can make the first length. No problem with that. Then I turn around. I know I can do that. Then, yes, I realize I can do the return today as the first step. Okay, but I've already done that. Then when I'm just a few meters from the end of the return, now I realize I'll make it. Sure, today I make a return as I've already done several times. That's fine. So now I just focus my mind on, okay, today I said the challenge is to touch the wall and to return, to make the turn back, even if I don't move after that, but to turn back. And I just focus my mind on that. So I know I've already done a return several times, and I know it's sure, there's no doubt in my mind I will touch the wall for the return. Now, so the only challenge is to turn back. So what is important is that, you know, I can base I have no doubts at some point because I've already done that several times. Because else I would doubt, am I just able to make the return completely? But as I've already done that several times, I can base my thoughts on my beliefs on something real, something I've already experienced myself. So yeah, I know that's doable, and I know I'm going to do it right now. So I can just focus on the next step. And there's just one little step, it's just to turn back today. That's it. Touch the wall and turn back before I come out of the water. So I reach the wall, I touch the wall, and as I just have my mind focused on turning back, well, obviously I touch the wall and I turn back. It takes a bit more of energy, but I turn back, and then obviously I try to swim at least a little bit to at least say I've moved a little bit more, and then it's I swim 1, 2, 3. Okay, I can do it, and then there's something that was happening very quickly in my mind, but I realized that there was something happening. It's like my mind kind of divided in two in a way, or at least I had two options at this time, and I was just very briefly starting to think I will never be able to make a complete third length. It's just not possible. And you know, you have a bit of water in your nose, you're not very comfortable, you're already struggling, you know, for a certain time under the water. And just thinking of that seems just incredible. And I would almost panic and go out of the water right away and say, no, okay, stop, that's it, that's enough, that's very good already, okay? And then I just focus on, okay, but right now, am I able to just swim one more time? And I realize, yes, no problem, I can do that. There's clearly no problem, I can do that. So I know that there's the mind that is going, the thoughts that kinds of want to panic and say, it's just too difficult, stop that right away, I cannot do that, you know. And I realized that, okay, but right now I know I can do that, so just don't buy into those thoughts. And right away I just cut those thoughts. It was just the beginning, you know, and I just cut that and just focus on, can I do one more? Yes, I can. That's okay. So I just did one more and one more, and then, well, very quickly I reach the wall for the third length. I go out of the water and I just couldn't believe it was almost like too quick, you know. I was looking to the swimming pool, and like it was easier to make the third length than the first and the second. It's just incredible, you know. I went out of the water, look at the swimming pool, and I say, yeah, I touched the wall here and there, so I made the length, but I just couldn't believe it. It's just like I hadn't seen the length passing. You know, it was almost like a dream, and suddenly I'm at the end of the swimming pool. Yes, really, it happened like that. It was just really amazed. And so what I realized in all that, well, as I said, first of all, there's the steps of turning back, which is difficult in your mind because you know there's a real difficulty, even though that's not huge, but you take some time, some energy to turn back, and you're just not moving, basically. And but once this step is made, it's easy to continue. So you know you have to suddenly you go to the second length, and then it's easy. It's almost the same. You know, it's not more difficult to be at the beginning of the length and at the end, almost. You know, and then you have to climb another step to turn back a second time. But it's in the mind, it's something difficult. But once you've done that, it's almost, yeah, not that difficult to continue after that. So you know, there's really steps like that. It's not gradual at all. It's not more and more difficult. It's okay, the first length, it's a little bit more difficult as you move forward. But and when I say that, it's that I really think it's exactly the same for everything in life. You know, so that's why it's really a very good illustration, I think, of what happened right now in the swimming pool, because I think everything is the same. So when you move, yeah, the first length is just a little bit more difficult when you move forward, but it's not that much. And to have to turn back, it's like climbing a step, right? You know, in just a few seconds, you climb a step right away. And then it's just a little bit more difficult to reach the end of the swimming pool. And then to climb again a step, to turn back, it's like climbing a step. And then it's not very difficult to reach the end of the, you know, to do the length, basically. Okay, so that's one thing that I realized. The second thing is, when I was in the middle of the third length, is I knew it because I've already done that my mind is going to panic a little bit because of the thought of swimming a third length under the water. It's too difficult. It's well, for my thoughts, you know, it was my thought was, we're just going to panic and to you know, how you say that, freak out. And so if I was listening a little bit of my thoughts, I would have just stopped right away. So I had to just focus on right now. Am I just able to do just the very next step, just this one? Yes, I can. That's all I need to know. Without thinking, yeah, but I'm going to try to reach the end. If I was thinking that, I wouldn't have been able to reach the end. So as you can see, you know, there's a lot of theories that say, yeah, but make little steps each time. And I was always thinking, yeah, it's a good idea, but okay, I'll try to move faster. And no, that's really exactly that. Just, I'm able to do this one. Yes, and you do it very easily, very quickly. And in this, if you just focus on right now, it's just not taking into account your thoughts, it's easy. Basically, it's easy to move. The thoughts make appear things like difficult, but when you just do it without thinking of it, it's easy. So and then the third thing I realized that I really think played a role in all that is that before I dive, when I as I told you, it's that I clearly stated my goal without knowing at all if I could reach just a second, just a return today, but I clearly stated that, okay, today it's 1, 2, 3. And I really think that helped when I was in the third length, that my mind almost automatically switched to don't buy into the thoughts and just focus on right now. And you know, I had a little bit of will to do it, but it almost, you know, it was almost automatically. Suddenly, like, my thought had shut down. You know, there was no more thoughts, just focus on right now. And then it became very easy to reach the end. And like, it was like the time just disappeared almost. You know, I touched the wall and couldn't believe I was already there. I hadn't seen the time, you know, goes by. So the switch in the mindset was really, I think, something that was really helped by the fact I just almost, like give an order to my mind already. Today I do that, and then it took over, like almost it took over, because I really had to bring just very little will, and it's been made almost automatically. That's really what impressed me when I came out of the water. Like, it was so easy. I just switched, suddenly my mind, I switched, or it switched on its own almost, and then just, I was able to reach the end of the third length with very easily. So yeah, I wanted to share this experience because I really think there's a lot of interesting things in this situation. And as I said, it's not only for, diving and swimming under the water, but I think in life, everything works the same. So I'd be happy to have your comments, your opinion on that, and maybe you can relate to that for other experiences. And I'd like to hear you telling me what you think of that, or your own stories. Don't hesitate to comment, obviously. And well, if you like that, don't hesitate. Thumb up, subscribe to the channel if you want to talk with me next time, and I'll be happy to talk to you later. Bye now.